There's a guy that I follow online who some of you tuning in may know this. His name's Gary Vee. Runs a media business, a big agency, social media guru all over the place. A little intense for some people, but one of the things that he talks a lot about is clouds and dirt, kind of that juxtaposition in business of, you know, the dirt and the clouds, the good, the bad, the minutia, micro, the macro, the fun, the not so fun, the work and the play, whatever you want to call it. But it was super real for me coming out of this meeting today that all this experience that I've had in the dirt over the past 8 to 10 years probably has really put me in a position to where when I'm in the clouds, in those big macro strategy, whatever it is, I could deliver. And I think today was just a moment where that really felt real for me. It kind of came together. And I'll break this down for you guys. Like the dirt is the minutia. The dirt is it's the little things, the supply chain. Like maybe you're on the line putting the product together. Maybe you're designing the graphics. Maybe you're, you know, putting pieces together so someone else can design the graphics. Maybe, you know, you're installing technology. Maybe you are the sous chef. Maybe you're preparing ingredients. Like whatever it is, that experience in the dirt gives you the knowledge, the experience, the exposure. So when you're in the cloud, you can communicate so much more effectively on the intricacies of everything because you know them. It's part of your knowledge. You're not just reporting on something that someone from your team gave you and you haven't really spent enough time in the weeds to understand it because you had it on the come up. You went ahead and you took that time to put in that work to gain that experience. So when you're up there, you've got it down. You can see through this fog, the smoke and mirrors that some of the other people may be putting out there. You can dive a little bit deeper to really give insights and information in detail that other people couldn't. You know, for the past like 6 years of my life, I've been in positions where I was in the dirt doing the work. You know, I didn't expect that my college would get me out of the dirt. I went into the dirt out of school. In school, I was in the dirt with startup projects, little things here and there, dibbling and dabbling all over the place. But then even in the startup world, like if you want to do something, you have to do it. It's not like you get to put it onto another team or you have to like get someone else to do this thing that you want to do and then you just kind of put pieces together. Like you are the one doing it. You're building it, you're making it, you're putting it together from scratch. And that experience over the past 6 years and then over the past like year and a half of building the agency, well, transitioning into a media company now, a best-in-class media company, like I've always been in the dirt. I've always done the task to put things together. And I know that I'm not always gonna be able to do that, but I know that that experience is essential. And I'm always gonna be in the dirt. I'm never gonna be out of the dirt because I love getting my hands dirty. I love figuring it out. You know, in the startup I used to work at, in the beginning, like when we had our new facility, like we would be in there like packing it, like we would be putting it together so we could get it out. You know, you would be putting in the ground game, the work to have that perspective and that experience that goes such a long way. And you know, I put this together like not because I feel like I'm some inspirational figure, but just to like spell it out about how this looks for me, how my dirt experience has now turned into, you know, the clouds being much smoother for me, where I come in to a presentation and, you know, we're able to have a really impactful session. We're able to answer really good questions. We're able to put something together that not only looks great, but delivers great info on what we're being asked about, what we promised we would do, because I know what that dirt looks like. And with that dirt experience, I can take the macro objectives of a board, of a client, of whoever that is, and say, hey, these are the ways that we use this platform, Facebook advertising, content creation, social media, to deliver on that. And these are the KPIs that track best to that. Not just, you know, you've got people on social media talking about followers and talking about impressions, but what does that really do for your business? All that does is say that there's X amount of people who have decided to press the follow button, or bots, frankly, in today's world, may not even really be active accounts, and then X amount of people scrolled by it. If they're going 1,000 miles an hour through their feed and they go by it, that's an impression, guys. Like, what are the real metrics that drive us forward? So you gotta be careful out here, but I just feel like having all this experience in the dirt, really putting in the work to build brands, really putting in the work to learn platforms, being authentic with that, is what led to today being so smooth. What I thought was gonna be this kind of like, was just like this, done, got it, crushed it, rocked it. We were ready, we knew what we needed to know, and we hammered that home. And that feels really good. So if you're in the dirt right now, if you're in that thing, like my call to action for you is just what should you be, how do you go farther in the dirt? How do you expand your dirt experience when you're out of it? You're like, oh, I know how to do that. I'm cross disciplinary, dynamic. I'm more spread out with my dirt experience. So when I do get in that macro position, I know I know your situation. I know what you're trying to get done. I know what you're dealing with, so I can be empathetic towards that, but also help you with that. Talk through it, lead on that, and be in a better position to move forward. When you got a team, you know? Now, if you're older, maybe you need to get in the dirt. Maybe you haven't been in the dirt enough. I see a lot of like young somethings thinking they got it done, thinking they got it down, but like I'm like, have you ever been in the dirt, my guy? Like, have you ever really put in the steps to do these things, or are you just preaching to the choir? What do you have going on? So I would put that as a challenge if you don't have that dirt experience, to go get some, so that, I don't know, if we ever have a conversation, I'll believe you. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This week was a big week. Felt really, really big today. Today just felt like a moment of magnitude, a moment of progression on this journey that we're on. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.